Hello and welcome back to the Tour de Suisse with the 2010 database. We're back to stage 4. Bit of a break between episodes. Went away for a trip, but let's get back into it. So the favourites for today's stage, a slight hilly finish at the end, is Puncher, Alejandro Valverde, Damian Cunego, Samuel Sanchez, Cadel Evans, Andy Schleck, Vinokurov, Contador, Frere, Schleck and Anton. Let's remind ourselves who's in the lead. It's a classification on time. Tony Martin is leading by 1 second to Cadel Evans and 8 seconds back to Liffey Lefheimer. Best climber is Nocentini in front of Vauclair. Point classification is Vauclair in front of Kloden, and Martin is in the young classification. Let's get into the stage. Here we go, starting the race. God, I love these older jerseys. They're a lot nicer than a few of the newer ones now. Beautiful jersey for Tony Martin, HTC Columbia. Play. There's Tony Martin in the leader's jersey, Nocentini in the mountain jersey, Vauclair in the points jersey, and Hessink second on youth in the youth classification jersey, riding for Team Rabobank. Let's remind ourselves that the stage winners of the last few stages. So stage 3 was won by Tommy Vauclair in the Breakaway. Kim Kirkin won stage 2 in a bunch sprint, slightly hilly sprint. Stage 1 time trial with Andreas Kloiden. George Hincapie, once again, it's beautiful American National Champ jersey, and there's a attack for a breakaway. Who's that? There's Montague, Vanguard, Popovic, Vauclair once again getting the breakaway, and Rain Tarmi, our favourite Estonian, the beautiful Estonian Cofidis National Champions jersey. Behind them, there's 2 more riders trying to get across: Mazzantini of Team Katusha and Samuel Dumoulin of Team Cofidis. Behind them is Caruso of Katusha. Why is Dumoulin and Mesnati set up? Maybe because they're waiting for the other teammates. Salzburger of FDJ, Duke of Cofidis, Lemervel of FDJ, Federico of Voice of Telecom, Bbox Telecom, Hadu of Bbox Telecom, Kern of Cofidis. So there seems to be a lot of Cofidis, Katusha, and Bbox Telecom in the breakaway. Speed it up to ×2. We're going to zoom out slightly. The peloton seems to be kind of, well, they were pacing before. Moller was rolling through with Kirienko on the front. Letting the breakaway go. Will Hadel catch up to these front 7 here? We will see. Oh, there's another attack. And they're caught again by the peloton. Pino trying to get in the breakaway. Federico, no, everyone's still just pacing along nicely. These 2 groups will catch up eventually. The gap between them is hovering around 40 seconds. They go slowly reducing now. Peloton, they're kind of they're not pacing. They're just gently riding. And the breakaway is now 7 riders. Sorry, 13 riders. The 2 groups join together. There's quite a few Cofidis riders in here. There's a few Katusha riders. A few FDJ riders, a few Bbox Telecom. It looks like everyone in the team, everyone's got a teammate in this group. Katusha's got 2 riders, Cofidis has got 5 riders, Bbox Telecom's got 3, and FDJ's got 3. Back to the main peloton. Mollema is just pacing, everyone else is slowly rolling through. I like this old Team Sky jersey. It's a bit more white than the classic black, but it's better than the current Ineos jersey. Although it's good, the Ineos jersey currently, it's not. It doesn't show as nicely as the Sky jersey did, I think. Red just doesn't really work, in my opinion, with their jersey. Gap's coming down around 3 minutes. Nothing really happening in the peloton. Mountain classifications, anyone in this bunch? High mountain classification, probably Vockler. He's second on 21 points. If he can grab 6 points here, he'll be closer, but he will not be in the lead. 14 Ks till the KOM.
The pack is increasing its work rate. Some teams can't be happy with the breakaway. Another attack in the leading group.
There's a slight breakaway in the breakaway. Popovic attacks, Mazzante as well, Vockler, Fredrigo and Caruso. Cofidis is out the back. Do they wait for their leader? Well, with those numbers are slightly wrong because Popovic is from Radio Shack. Mazzante attacks, he's third on mountain classification. Vockler's coming up. Vockler will not pass on the line. Vockler takes second in mountain classification. Caruso's waiting. It's between the 4 Cofidis riders. Tarim takes the points. Gosentini still leads with Vockler second. Then we've got Dumoulin, so 3 Cofidis riders here, with Tarim out in front, and they're not working together. And then the 3 FDJs and one of those. And the peloton's actually quite close. Oh, we've had a split. We're gonna drop. Tony Martin has been dropped distance on the hill. Behind him, De Volder, Boonen, Christoph, Henderson. No one really any importance. Still 4 breakaway riders out in front. There's a fall. Waylands, Velo, Talafara, Clement, Hincapie, Kaiser, and Julian Dean. Talafara, anyone else? Anyone here close on GC? 27th is the best, that is. George Hincapie, team probably will not come back for him. Back to the breakaway, increase the speed of the game again. It's 4 riders in the breakaway. It looks like Tarim is trying to bridge across. But in real life, what would be different would be that he would wait for his Cofidis teammates and they would chase. There's been a massive fall at the back of the bunch. Ooh, there's a lot of riders down. A lot of riders. Let's hope a lot of them are able to get back up. And Tony Martin's on the ground. Philippe Gilbert abandons the race. Involved in that fall, a few Cofidis riders. Victor Camparts for Katusha. Tony Martin of HTC, the current race leader, Penalty's trying to pace him back. There we get confirmation of Philippe Gilbert. Julian Dean is dead and he is dropping back. HTC team, Mark Cavendish and Maxime Montfort have dropped back to help Tony Martin bring him back to the bunch. Anyone else dropped out of the main peloton? Nope, Fabian Cancellara's at the front. Robert Zolgo at the back. Hado, Hincapie, Clement. There's the race leaders group here. Tony Martin. It looks like Tony Martin will probably be losing the leaders jersey today. A lot of dead riders at the back. Martin has got 76 mountain, 76 hill, so you might be able to keep up. And Carparts, what is he doing? He is waiting for his leader, is he? No, I don't particularly know what he's doing. That was just an odd maneuver. Okay. The breakaway only has 1 minute 57 now, so 2 minute advantage. There are a lot of splits in the peloton. There's another 4 riders off the back. Chris Sutton, Weiss, Nieve. No one really any importance. Sylvain Chavanel still in the front bunch. Who is second on GC? Cadel Evans, he's in the main peloton here. Liffey Liffheimer, Alberto Contador, Sammy Sanchez, Luis Leon Sanchez, Bradley Wiggins, Nibali, Gherkin, Christoph Herrad, and Vinokurov. So they're all here in this front bunch still. Coming up to the next climb, it looks like Federico could not keep up the pace. The peloton is being driven by Lance Armstrong for Team Radio Shack, riding for Liffheimer. Intermediate sprint coming up. Tommy Vockler, he should take this to increase his lead in the sprint classification. No one's going to sprint the breakaway, so Vockler takes it ahead of Mezzati and Popovic. Peloton's closing up with Team Sky now at the helm. You can glance to his next, second, Angoli, and they've caught the first rider from the breakaway. It's a nice steep downhill here coming up, then another uphill. Let's go to the uphill. Oh, a few more splits happening down this peloton. Who else has been dropped? Montague, he was in the breakaway. Terrain was in the breakaway. Tommy Vockler has attacked on a flat. There's two other breakaway compatriots are trying to catch up to him. There's a slight 16-second lead between them, a minute to the peloton. Peloton's maintaining at 63 riders. Slowly dropping off riders. Who is this? Benedict Enoxty, Michael Lloyd, and Simon Spilak. A few riders are dying off the back. Very, very slight crosswind. 7 kilometers to the top of the climb now. There's 25 seconds between Vockler and the peloton. Because Fabian Cancellara of Team Radio, Team Saxo Bank, leading the charge. Simon Gerrans now for Team Sky. Another bunch of riders off the back. Kirienka, Simoni, Angoli, Loxford, Armstrong, Mollema. A lot of riders are struggling at the back now. Richie Port, Greg Van Avermaet. You got Anton, 17 seconds. Vockler's got 3 Ks as the climb starts, and he is dying. Fabian Cancellara on the front is dying. Oscar Freire, the sprinter for Team Rabobank, is coming to the front. Frank Schleck and Vinokurov also at the front. Hessink, 12th on GC. He would probably move into the young leaders jersey classification. Chauvinel attacks. Schleck is straight on his wheel. Canugo behind him, then Contador, Wiggins, and Valverde. A little bit of a gap back to Evans. We go to the back of the peloton. Vockler's off the back. Cloyd and Sanchez. Costantini back to the front now. Schleck is taking the mountain points. Canugo, Chauvinel, Contador, other Schleck, Evans, and Valverde. Bunch is kind of back together now with Pozzato back. Liffheimer, Hessink, who is left behind. Chris Horn has been dropped. Santini's been dropped. Michael Rogers. There's a bunch of 19 here going up to the front. Canugo attacks.
And there's an attack at the front. He could go all the way.
He's got a 14-second lead. Samuel Sanchez is following behind him. Andy Schleck on Samuel Sanchez. Now Schleck is taking up the chase. Vinokurov sprinting through from the back. There's going to be a few more bunch splints here. Hessink has been dropped. Liffheimer is caught back up. Santini's caught back up. Vincenzo Nibali is also getting dropped. 0.700 meters to the intermediate sprints. Who's going to take it? No one really wants to take it. Maybe looks like Schleck. That's quite close to tell. We will check that. Canugo, then Schleck, then Vinokurov. There's 7 kilometers to go. It's pretty much downhill. If anyone wants to attack now, they will most likely win. Samuel Sanchez attacks. There's a response from Valverde and Cadel Evans.
The riders are entering the last 5 kilometers of the stage.
Ferran's on the back. Hessink has got back on. Same with Liffheimer. Sammy Sanchez of Escudé. Right, yes, of Escudé. Frank Schleck is working on the front for his brother Andy Schleck. Pozzato now with the attack. There's a very, very slight uphill before the finish. Kim Kirkins at the front, and Vinokurov attacks. Samuel Sanchez wins the stage. Andy Schleck's going to come in second, then Alexander Vinokurov. Bunch time for Valverde, Flair, Schleck, Evans, Wiggins. Hayshadel and Nibali lose a little bit of time. There's still then Chauvinel, Christoph Perard, Kaza, and Hessink, with Liffheimer a little bit further behind. Then Meeble. Anyone else? That's Major. Chris Horner. Tommy Vockler. Where's the yellow jersey? Where is Tony Martin? 1.3 kilometers to go. Tony Martin is isolated. He's got George Hincapie. There's a friend, Soler. Here comes Tony Martin across the line. 7 minutes down today. It's been a big shake-up in GC, with more of the climbing favourites coming closer to the forefront. At the back, we've got Julian Dean and Daniel Oss. Julian Dean's broken away from Daniel Oss. In front of them is Hondo, Velo. Let's watch Daniel Oss and Julian Dean. Look at them both, they've got pretty much the same stats, except Julian Dean's got a bit more hill and more sprint. There's Dean finishing there and Oss finishing last in the race. Now let's take a look at the results for today's stage. So the podiums. Winner, of course, was Samuel Sanchez. He takes 25 seconds on Andy Schleck and Alexander Vinokurov. The rest of that bunch there. Classification, that moves Sanchez into the lead, with Evans still in second, Lefheimer on third, Contador fourth, Vinokurov fifth, all the way down to Hessink on 10th. Bradley Wiggins is sixth, Nibali on 7th, Crooken on 8th. There's about 50 seconds, 44 seconds separating the top 10. Best climber is still No Santini, with Vockler catching up. Mazzanti also took a lot of points today in the breakaway. Points classification is still Vockler. He leads now Samuel Sanchez by 12 points, then Kim Kurgan. Robert Hessink is 2 seconds in front of Andy Schleck in the youth classification. Tony Martin is 6 minutes 20 down. Team classification is Pro Team Astana, leaving Team Katusha by 1 minute 50. Let's have a look at these results a bit better. So like we said, 25 seconds back to that bunch. It looks like actually Nibali, Lefheimer and Hessink all got the same time, so that was lucky for them. 2 minutes down was Van Moosen, Alan Davies and Chris Horner. Cancellara finished 4 minutes 30 down. Richie Port, 4 minutes 30. Greg van Avermaet, 5 minutes 53. George Hincapie, 7 minutes. Armstrong, 6 minutes 30. Tony Martin, 7 minutes 07 down. And we look down at the very bottom. Philippe Gilbert, he withdrew from the race with Formiga Farmalotto. So here's our overall. Sammy Sanchez in the lead, like we said. Cat 11 is 22 seconds back. Then a further 7 seconds to Lefheimer. Then Contador and Vinokurov. It's quite close at the front, a minute between the top 13. Then another 30 seconds back to the next 4 or so. Last on GC is Daniel Oss for the Liquigas Duemo squad. Remembering we had Matthew Goss, sprint from HTC, and Adam Blythe withdrawal. Points classification, a bit more in depth. Vockler's winning. Mountain, still No Santini. Evans is 8th. Youth, Tony Martin's 6 minutes back. Edvard Bosenhagen, 9 minutes. Spilak, 15. All the way down to Daniel Austin, an hour. And team's classification is Pro Team Astana. Thanks for tuning in to Stage 4. I'll be happy to see you next time with Stage 5.